Words are things, I'm convinced. You must be careful about the words you use. In the Old Testament, we are told in Genesis that in the beginning was the Word. And the Word was God, and the Word was with God. That's in Genesis. Words are things. Someday we'll be able to measure the power of words. I think they are things. I think they get on the walls. They get in your wallpaper. They get in your rugs, in your upholstery, in your clothes, and finally into you.
What you just heard was the great late Maya Angelou giving her profound definition of words. And if anyone would know, she would know because she's one of the greatest poets of our time. In this video, I'm going to talk about words, but I'm going to talk about them in a different way and how, like Maya Angelou says, how powerful words are or how powerful they can be. I looked up the definition of foretelling to find out exactly what it meant. And what it means is to speak a particular thing in advance before it happens. I don't want there to be a confusion with foretelling and fortune telling. They're two different things. There have been times in my life, particularly when I was a child, where I wanted something so badly to where I felt as if I said it, that somehow it would come true. And in several different instances throughout my childhood, I recall where I've said something almost as if I'm making a wish, only to have that thing come true in my lived experience. Now, I also don't want any of you to confuse foretelling with what most people would call lying or being dishonest. In my opinion, a lie is something that can never be true. For instance, if I said Neville Goddard is not dead and he's living upstairs in my attic, that's a lie. A foretelling is not a lie. Also, I see lying as being deceptive, to create confusion, to mislead. To lie is covert. To lie is to manipulate. To lie is to deceive. A foretelling is almost like a verbal script. There's something that I want, something that I desire, and I'm going to forecast this thing. And I'm going to say that this is true right now, because I know it will be true in my lived experience, and that it will be created ultimately in my 3D experience. When it comes to foretelling, also, intention is extremely important. Intention is everything. The great Esther Hicks, or Abraham Hicks, has been quoted as saying, "It's important to tell another story. Tell the story in the way that you want it to go. Telling your story the way it is will root you like a tree." That's also profound, and I also believe that implicitly. It has also been said, I believe, by Neville Goddard that there is no fiction on our tongues. None. Notice that Maya Angelou, in her piece about words, mentions what the Bible says about words. Words are extremely powerful. Words can create. Words can also destroy. I think it is so important that we are extremely careful about the things we say, because your words are a verbal script. And when you say things, they will ultimately be made truth. And when you say things in advance, foretelling, they will ultimately be made truth at some point. I truly believe that. I almost see foretelling as a ritual, an incantation, what most people would call a spell, when you say the quote-unquote magic words. Your intention with your words, particularly foretelling, you want a particular thing to be true. You're saying it as if it is true to someone else. I truly believe that you play on or play off of others and their reaction to what it is that you're saying to them. In the great words of Maya Angelou, once again, words are extremely powerful. Once again, I want to say I enjoy this channel immensely in sharing this information with you guys, and I encourage you to like, comment, and of course subscribe. Thank you so much for listening. Bye, everybody.
Words are things, I'm convinced. You must be careful about the words you use. In the Old Testament, we are told in Genesis that in the beginning was the Word. And the Word was God, and the Word was with God. That's in Genesis. Words are things. Someday we'll be able to measure the power of words. I think they are things. I think they get on the walls. They get in your wallpaper. They get in your rugs, in your upholstery, in your clothes, and finally into you.